guys, welcome back to another video. And for those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Lauren. Today's video is going to be good for those of you who might be new to the vegan diet and lifestyle. I'm going to go over some items that you may want to purchase at the store so that you can have a nice, well-rounded pantry so that you can pretty much create any meal any time of the day. So some of these are not necessary, but a lot of them are really good to have in your pantry just at all times. They're great staple pieces. So what I'm going to start with is beans. So dried beans are great to have on hand. These are dried cannellini beans. I also have black beans, dried black beans, and a huge bag of pinto beans. I'm already halfway through this. But beans are really good to have because you can add them to a bowl, like a Buddha bowl, or you can make chili with it. What I like to do is take the beans and prep them and have them ready to go in my fridge so that it's easy to just make something really quick. You don't have to think about it. It makes eating healthy a lot easier. The next item that I think is a must-have in a vegan kitchen is some brown rice, or just regular white rice would be good as well. This is the Uncle Ben's. The nice thing about rice and beans is that they're not that expensive. So it's really good for those of you who might be on a budget, or maybe college kids or anything like that. What I do is I cook mine in a rice cooker. You could also do one of those Instant Pots. I've never used them myself because I have a rice cooker and it works just fine, but those are good. I recommend having vegetable broth on hand. This is one, Sam's Choice. It's a vegan broth and it has 9 grams of plant-based protein in it. What I do with vegetable broths is I use them to cook my rice in or to cook my beans in. It's also great to have to make soups. All kinds of different vegan meals can be made from vegetable broth. So this one's good to have. You could also get the not beef bouillon cubes. These are great so that you could make a soup, you could make pho with this. There's a ton of different things that you can use this with just to spice up your food so it tastes so much better and it doesn't taste bland and you don't get bored. So those are great to have. I also highly recommend getting a chickpea or a lentil pasta. These are the Bonza chickpea pasta. This is a rotini. They also have shells. They also have, I think they have spaghetti, but I do know that they have penne pasta as well. They have 25 grams of protein for 3.5 ounces. So really good to have. I also recommend having nutritional yeast. This I got online and I bought it in bulk because a lot of vegan recipes call for nutritional yeast. And I bought it in bulk because at the store it's about $6 for about a size like this. So I thought that I would just get a larger amount and save money that way. So I bought this on Amazon. I think it was like $20 or so, but it's about 1 pound of nutritional yeast and this will last for a really long time. So this has a cheesy flavor and you can add it to your pastas to make like a mac and cheese, or you can add it on top of your salads to get that cheesy flavor. There's tons of different ways that you can use nutritional yeast. It's pretty much a must-have in a vegan kitchen. The nice thing about nutritional yeast is it has protein, but it also has vitamins in it, such as B12, B6, vitamin D, iron, potassium. It's got a whole bunch of different vitamins in it, so this is good to have. When you're on a vegan diet, you want to make sure that you're mixing up your foods. You're doing a bunch of different types of food so that you are getting all the essential vitamins and nutrients that you need. I also recommend having nuts on hand. I just go to the store and do the self-serve and put it in a bag and then fill it my mason jars with them to keep them nice and fresh. These are cashews. These are pine nuts. I use this for my pesto recipe, which I also have a video, and you can check that out on my page. And then you also might want to have pumpkin seeds and almonds. These are all good to have to put on top of salads. You can use them to make things like that pesto, all kinds of different things. So nuts are really good to have on hand. You can make cheese with nuts as well. Vegan cheese is typically made with nuts. So these are good to have on hand so that if a recipe ever calls for it, you have it and it's ready to go. They also are full of healthy fats, so good to have that. I also highly recommend getting chia seeds. This is just a container that I use to keep my chia seeds in. Chia is great for the omega fatty acids that you need in your diet, so I like to keep these on hand. You can use them to top smoothie bowls. You could also grind these up and use them as an egg replacer. So I use this for a lot of my baking. It's a great way to get in those healthy fats. I also recommend, it's called TVP, which is textured vegetable protein. This is from Bob's Red Mill. It's not too pricey in stores, but basically what you do with this is you rehydrate it. It becomes the consistency of ground beef. So all you would need to do is add in some seasoning, and you could use it for tacos. You could use it on top of a Buddha bowl. There's all kinds of different things that you can use TVP for. So I recommend having this. It's not a must, but it is good to have because it is 12 grams of protein for 1/4 cup and only 7 grams of carbs and 0 fat. The macros on TVP are really good. I find that I like having TVP as opposed to tofu because it's shelf stable. Along the same line as TVP, soy curls are great. I got these online on Amazon. They have 10 grams of protein for 3/4 cup. It does have 4.5 grams of fat and 5 grams of carbs. These are good to rehydrate, similar to the TVP, and you can season them, and they're almost like chicken strips. So you could fry them up in the air fryer and they get crispy, or you could just rehydrate them and stick them on top of a Buddha bowl, and they soak up all the flavors that you put them in. If you use the not beef bouillon cubes with the soy curls, it'll soak up that flavor, that beefy flavor, and it'll almost be like you're eating beef. I also recommend for breakfasts having rolled oats. These are great for overnight oats. It's also good for baking, so I recommend having them on hand. This big bag, I think, cost me maybe $5, so not bad, and it's a super easy grab and go breakfast. With the oats, I recommend getting yourself some plant-based milk, either almond milk, or you could do oat milk, you could do a macadamia nut milk. There's all kinds of different vegan nut milks that you can do, and you just add those with the oats and then maybe add in some protein powder, and you got yourself a really protein-packed breakfast that's gonna hold you over for multiple hours. It's really good. I do have a video on protein powders. If you want to check that out, I'll go ahead and link that. But this is one of the many protein powders that I use that I recommend. This one is chocolate flavor, so you can use this to flavor your oats. You don't have to add any extra flavoring. It's already in the protein powder. And then the last item that I highly recommend for a beginner who's starting a vegan pantry is a good protein bar. The reason that I recommend a protein bar is because there is going to be a lot of times where you're on the road running around and you don't have any vegan options around you. These are great to have in your purse or in your backpack, and if there's an instance where you're just so hungry and there's just no options around down, you can grab this and eat this instead. This is the red, which is Research Enhanced Design Development. This is their peanut butter energy bar. It has 10 grams of protein, 11 superfoods, 19 vitamins and minerals, and 35 milligrams of caffeine. This might be great to have in the morning as well. I just like to have these for emergencies. Great for road trips. And like I said, grab and go. Keep in your backpack, keep in your purse, so that there's never an instance where you're really hungry and you have to cave into a not healthy item, because you always have this handy. One of the other things that I recommend to keep in your pantry are garbanzo beans. These are great in place of so many things. You can use these for burger patties, falafels. You can bake them and make them extra crispy so you can use them as a snack. You can also use them to make a eggless egg salad. I love using these. They're packed with protein, and I love having these on hand because they go in place of so many things. So garbanzo beans are a must, and because they're in a can, they'll keep for a very long time. So those are kind of the basics for dry goods. In your freezer, I highly recommend keeping frozen green peas. They are great to add into Buddha bowls. You can cook them up really quickly and add them to just about anything. I love adding them on top of my salads. So these are really good to have. Frozen green peas. I also recommend edamame beans. So these are great to just cook up and add some seasoning and just eat as a snack. They have 10 grams of protein for a half a cup. So these are really good to have. I also recommend just having a variety of frozen veggies, so that if you are out of fresh vegetables, or just in case you need to tie yourself over till your next paycheck or what have you, it's good to have frozen vegetables on hand. These are Brussels sprouts. Super easy, just pop them in the oven, season them up, and they are so good. Those are good to have. Then along with that, I'm sure you've seen, if you've watched any of my other videos, I love doing smoothies in the morning. So I recommend having frozen strawberries and blueberries, especially during the times where fresh strawberries and blueberries are really expensive. It's good to go ahead and get the frozen ones because they're great to just heat up, and you could put them on top of your pancakes and they become kind of like this warm strawberry blueberry compote that almost works in place of a syrup. You don't have to eat syrup, you can just use strawberries and blueberries. So those are good to have. And then for your fridge, I highly recommend just keeping a variety of fruits and vegetables in there. What I love to keep on hand are bell peppers. They're great for making stuffed peppers. They're great for just cutting up and putting on top of a salad, or cutting up and grilling. They're just so versatile, so I highly recommend bell peppers. The red, orange, and yellow peppers tend to have more vitamins than the green do, but sometimes I just love the flavor of the green. You could also get little mini bell peppers that are multicolored. Those are great for just snacking. I love just having those and using those to scoop up hummus. I also recommend having mushrooms. Mushrooms have a ton of protein in them. You could cut them up and put them on top of toast. You could put them in a Buddha bowl. There's so many things that you can do with mushrooms. They are great to mince and cook and create like a burger patty for. You could even do little sliders with them. So these are my favorite. My husband's favorite thing to do is to get portobello mushrooms and clean them out and then let them soak in barbecue sauce, and then we grill them, and it makes the most amazing barbecue burgers. Those are great. The last thing I recommend having is a mixed green protein of some kind so that you always have something ready to go. I love having these for ready to make salads. My husband loves putting them on his burgers and sandwiches. So these are great to have because there's never an excuse as to you not having time because it's so grab and go friendly. It's super easy to have. So those are all the things that I recommend for a new beginner who is not sure of what to get. I think that those are pretty basic to start with. So there's a lot of vegan recipes that call for all of those items. So those are definitely a good starting point. And a lot of them are really inexpensive. So one of the things that I hear a lot is people think that being on a vegan diet is really expensive, which it's really not the truth. All those items are probably $5 and under, super inexpensive, tons of protein, tons of vitamins and nutrients. So there's really no reason for you not to be able to make that and have all the nutrients that you need in your diet. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or anything you'd like me to do a video on, I'd love to see that in the comments below. And I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day.